Hello and welcome to my Kitchen Intuition podcast. My name is MaritaLynn, and it's an honor to have you here today in this new episode. This podcast where I speak everything about food, nutrition, life, and everything that goes on in the world. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I believe is very important, and it has to do as how we see food. Do we see food as a way to nourish ourselves, or do we see food as a way to not necessarily being conscious, hurting ourselves? A lot of people, a lot of women especially, we have this emotional eating where we eat when things that we're not supposed to be eating just so we can soothe some sort of emotion. I've been there and I know exactly how it feels. But also is food that we can actually eat and cook and eat in a way that is going to nourish our bodies and make us feel good. For example, to nourish ourselves is like really being present when cooking and also when eating instead of be looking at the phone or worrying about something wrong happened. We're just being in the moment enjoying the food, and we know that if that food is going to digest well and it's just going to make us good, it's going to be good for us, because the energy is different. The energy is going to be there to really being part of that whole ceremony of cooking and also of eating the right foods. So that's a one way to do it. Another way to do it is just knowing that being conscious of what actually food means to us and really being able to choose between what is good and what is wrong, and knowing that what we're eating is going to be good for us. It's pretty much a mindset, something that we decide that we're going to engage into it. So another way that we nourish ourselves with food is choosing the right ingredients. It can be veggies, it can be foods that are gluten-free, foods that are naturally gluten-free. For example, quinoa or some starchy veggies that can be really good for us. And we can cook it in a very easy and quick, but in a quick way that is going to be delicious for us. And then the way we hurt ourselves, mostly, and I'm telling this from experience, we hurt ourselves eating the wrong foods by having some sort of emotion. Perhaps we got upset about something and we are heading into the ice cream and just eating without stopping, not being conscious of how much we're eating and the reason that we're eating it for. We're not bringing a good energy to that process of eating that ice cream. I'm not saying that all ice cream are bad, but just having that intention that we want to soothe that emotion instead of really feeling through that. And perhaps when you feel those emotions, you don't need to go for that ice cream anymore. That's going to really hurt us instead of helping us and nourish us. Another way is going to the fast food places, like normally salty, fried, greasy foods are a way also of comforting some sort of emotion that can be negative, because we have comfort foods that are can actually be comfortable for good energy. Those wholesome, homemade, delicious comfort meals that you can share with the people that you love and you know is going to nourish you. But it's also the negative side of the comfort foods, where it's like fried food, salty foods that are going to hurt you instead of nourishing you and really being really good for your body. Another example of hurting ourselves with foods is really just eating without being conscious, without stopping, just being in a constant eating, because it's a way to distract ourselves instead of like uh, confronting that emotion that we're going through at that moment. That's why being present, being in the now when we are cooking, when we're selecting our ingredients, when we're eating, instead of be looking at the phone or watching the news on TV and seeing all the wrong things that are going right now in the world, instead of focusing on the good things that are going in the world or in your own life, are going to pretty much dictate how you're going to choose your food. And that really can be a big change in your life, becoming aware of that when we eat and when we have a goal, maybe heal ourselves from some illness or perhaps losing weight, and really understand that food is good for us. When we really have the mindset and we know, when we think that food can really heal us, food can really help us lose weight and feel good and look good and really add into a positive, uh, give us a positive outcome for that, instead of foods that sometimes are not even cooked in a kitchen. They are made in a factory, or they are farmed in a factory, uh, and they are processed and have a lot of chemicals that don't really go with the nature of our body, with our natural body, are not going to be good for us. So I wanted to share this with all of you and see the difference. Food can actually heal us, but can also hurt us. And, it can have two edges. And it's up to us which one we want to choose. And start with our own mindset, with us making a decision which road we want to follow, the one that's going to nourish us or the one that's going to hurt us. And if you need any help, you can always contact me. My website is mykitchenintuition.com, and you can write to me and you can comment or share with somebody that might need to hear this, because sometimes we have problems and we got things we need to deal with in many aspects of our lives, but the opportunity is always there. It's just up to us to see it. So thank you so much for being here in this new episode. It's a pleasure to be with you and be of service and to share things that I have learned through the years, and put it in practice. That's more important, because we listen and we read and we hear so many things, but the main thing is to take action and being conscious of that action. So thank you again. This is MaritaLynn. I'm signing off. Thank you.